population of the students. But then I think our main point was to promote. So in an ideal society, an ideal outcome, it would help a lot because it gives them the choice. It gives them the opportunity to use their freedom responsibly. But then there is the personal Wi-Fi's, and then they have their own home Wi-Fi's.
Well, for me, I think the second post solution is better than the first. Because first, the signal is really bad in computer, so you can't really use mobile data as much. So a lot of us usually rely on I have 3G, but then I rely on the Wi-Fi because it's faster. So I think it can be a possible solution.
I think there will be more problem productivity because, for example, we have 30 hours per month, let's say. So our problem is those people who are addicted to social media. So what if they use those 30 hours for social media per se only? Then what happens to academics? They will not use data for academics, and therefore the solution would be counterproductive by doing it.
I really do think on that first one.
I think that effect would just be for the person himself. So if he or she uses his time for social media, all of his limited time for social media, he or she should face the consequences of what he or she does. So eventually he or she will learn from it.
Wait, can I just ask? When we say what we call it, limiting the time, it's just social media, right? Not the whole network.
The whole network. So they have the choice. It's a good point. I see the point that if they use up all their time, they'll probably learn their lesson, or they won't. It's just up to them. So how we evaluate this? We see that it depends on the student. Really, it depends on the student, and it's very situational. Some people probably learn. For example, I used up all my time on social media, and then I wouldn't have time for anything else. Maybe I would learn, maybe I wouldn't. So it really depends on the person.
But I do agree. The second idea is better than the first one. For this one simple reason, the second idea is more realistic and more economical than the first.
So the last one is blocking of social media sites and apps. Do you think this would be the most?
I'm not sure if there is technology available to do that, but I think that would be the most ideal because then it would tackle, everything that we have. Although we have the issue, as we said earlier, that sometimes we use Facebook for school, so we have the issue that we won't get to do that anymore. But then I still think that if we were able to do this one, it would be the most effective.
I think to solve the problem, I'll just tinker a bit. We have UB sites already, which is like this. We have our different accounts, and then LaSalle has this account where they have this community where they could post academic files there. I think UP is brilliant enough to make a kind of site to replace or to substitute Facebook's academic uses, and therefore we can do away with Facebook, some of the academic aspects of Facebook.
Actually, I totally agree because back in my high school, they developed this system. I don't know what it's called, but then that's where teachers post their PowerPoints, and that's where students can also post PowerPoints, and they have 4 rows, they can create groups. That's back in my high school. I think that if my high school can do it, and I'm pretty sure my university can do it.
It's by the demand, but we are also able to use it.
Isn't it Yahoo groups can be done also? I mean, it's really
Oh,
But it's really
yeah.
5 from high school, me and her maintained this Blogspot account where we put all our lectures, where we put all our reviewers there, and where we pass it on to the lower levels. I think if UP, let's say UP cannot do the blending to, I think they could just make an account, some WordPress or
However,
even a WordPress.
there are certain blogs on that same platform that can be for leisure, so it still goes back to being social media maybe.
I think for me, this is my favorite out of the three suggestions, because I think that I really agree that I think we should make some sort of site or system or improve the system we have for communication, not just among professors and students, because in CAP, that's what we do. The professors post, and we don't really get to talk to the professors as much, or we don't talk with each other as much. But if ever, let's say, it does have problems, let's face it. SAIS also has a lot of problems. You know, UP, the IMS can't handle everything. I think if the student really wanted to pursue her studies, in the best way possible, he or she would find ways. I'm sure there are other ways on the internet to make, like they could have a joint Dropbox, or they could do old school and they could have a Dropbox and then they could chat with each other via Yahoo, Ymail.
I don't think yet one was
They can find a different, means to actually communicate with each other.
I mean, there are websites that allow you to meet groups inside of them. So you have that in high school as well. You have to input your username and everything. But I think the problem there is that you can do as much as we have here, but again, it could be modified, managed.
I think UPM is starting to, inculcate all those things and do it, but then it's just starting, so you can't see really what its effect is. Maybe in the future, patches.
Okay, so I'm going to summarize what we said. So, blocking social media sites and apps, if there is the technology for the apps, would be the ideal solution, because it's the most realistic and would probably be the one to really regulate the use of social media. Except the students themselves have to find a different way, or the university has to provide a site or a system for the students to communicate with each other. So, how does each solution meet our goals? So we say the third is the best, but let's just, for the sake of being practical, which solution would meet our goals? How does each of them meet our goals? So first, let's talk about the jammers.
I think the jammers will meet the social media part, but we're having a little bit problem on the regulation part, because we are not even sure how to properly regulate it in a manner that third world countries can, and we're not even sure how to not to deregulate those things that should not be regulated in the first place.
I think I agree, if we talk about our main issue, which is social media, then solution one will be able to do that. However, different consequences come with it, so I don't think it is practical.
So let's talk about the limited amount of time for internet access. How does each solution meet our goals, and is it pragmatic?
Well, I think that it's the easiest to carry out, first of all. And it helps the student become more independent into thinking how to use the time. But then, as you mentioned earlier, it has its downside of being not inefficient. Like, it might not work. There's a big possibility it will not work, because we can see that the problem is prevalent.
If we apply that solution, we have to have proper methods to check how much time allotted is appropriate, and further studies need to be done.
So there what has to be research.
I think that's already done in the cyber area where currently 20 hours, I think.
It would be useful if people actually
But we already have the technology to do it here. We can already do that. But the problem would be, we're trying to regulate social media.
On personal gadgets.
yeah, some personal gadgets. But well, yes, you have to admit 3G Wi-Fi sucks. But then again, it exists. It is a loophole. And as long as there are loopholes, the solution is not really a solution.
So it will be the most practical.
Yes.
So the last, blocking social media sites and our apps. And the setting up of a separate
Sorry.
system.
The issue is just the time we need to find the technology. I think once we do that, really is the best solution.
So it's the best solution. So would it be, as of now, with the technology we have, would it be the most practical to settle the issue?
I think the technology we have no choice but to settle it second. But let's face it, I think what we can do is use the thread because what we can the thread is relying on foreign internet. We are connected to the internet, and I think if they could just find a way to disconnect the foreign internet and make our own system, then I think we can make a whole UP system, like a UP signal, where we would only show a blip. That's easier than jamming everything.
I think that's true. It's the best out of the three we have. Because when you block it, you actually make the students think about how they will communicate with each other. Where do I communicate? Where do I tell them? Plus, it actually promotes socializing with your peers more, with your group mates more. Like, talk to them, you do this, you don't just chat them, I know you do this. But with the files, I think it did.
I think the third one is also the best because, well, number one, it's possible. It's hard. I mean, well, with the system that we have, it's a bit hard to achieve that, but it's possible. So I think through the coordination of those student council and well, the admin, I think we can carry it out. And plus, I think that we can modify. It's already there, the system, we can modify it.
You just have to improve
Yeah,
on what's
improve
already there.
it.
So basically, it would be the most practical decision because it's already there.
But we have to make sure it's built as better than Satis.
That's
It has to be better than that.
Yes.
Besides, actually,
Yeah, it's fast. It's really fast. Okay, so we evaluated all of our solutions and we've come to the decision that the third, or the blocking social media sites and apps and providing a separate system would be the most practical solution to our problem because it meets all of our goals as we've defined. And our goals were to promote responsible use of Wi-Fi or internet and so in UP Manila, and for the students to actually maybe focus a little bit more on their academics. It's a very important problem that we need to address, and with this, I think we're ready to